You guys need to stop having this here we go again attitude. If you want to know what I'm talking about, then you gotta stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another rousing episode of Spill the Tea Tuesday. My name is Flossie, and I consider myself to be the funniest, wittiest mindset coach, as well as your OG hype you up rampage queen here on YouTube. If you want one-on-one coaching with me, some links are going to be in the description box below. And FYI, I will be having another boot camp here probably in about roughly a month. So I'll probably create the course and start it early so people can have early access. And then you're going to have quite a few weeks with me of accountability. Why? Because I just want you to what? GYS, get your shit. So because you know I love my calendar, I'm going to go ahead and get started. This says, be a constant fucking delight. Facts. I mean, like, you're literally the opera power of your reality. Might as well be a happy one. This is abso-fucking-lutely. You can literally do have anything that you want. This says, hey, don't you have shit to do? I say, don't you have some affirming to do and persisting to do? Because as we get onto the topic of this video, you're going to discover that most of you, some of you, are not. This says, breathe out the bullshit. It's really that simple to get rid of the 3D hood shit bullshit out of your reality. You don't have to subscribe to it at all. This is fucking, thank God it's Friday, TGIF. Clearly I'm having to do last week's. Why? Because I didn't make a video last week, yo. I was hella busy, but now I'm making time for you guys. This says, this weekend, lather, rinse, fucking repeat. You know, sometimes I got to do with that with the little doggy, but sometimes you just gotta rinse the negativity out of your 3D reality. There better be some fucking luck this month. If you create it, look at this negative ass, nasty ass victim mentality mode. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's what I say when the 3D isn't necessarily reflecting back what I want. Why? Because I don't care if the 3D reality isn't reflecting back exactly what I want. Why? Because I'm the upper in power. I don't have to care about the old story, and neither do you. It's still fucking freezing outside, only if you choose it to be. I mean, you're choosing and manifesting yourself to be in a cold-ass place. This says, what's all this clover shit everywhere? I say it's good luck, yo. Good luck. Do epic shit? Yeah, you can do epic shit as the opera power of your reality. You can literally do have anything that you want, and I try to get that and drill that into your head that you don't have to subscribe to anything that you don't want to. This says, fuck the patriarchy. Yeah, well, do what you want as far as that goes in your reality. I know what I do in mine. Anyhow, so I want to talk to you guys about this because it's coming up recently with some clients, and I think it's a different way to look at something, and I think that it can help some of you guys. So I decided to make a video about here we go again attitude, the here we go again attitude. You know what that is? That's expecting the old story. And a lot of people don't realize that. When I'm talking to somebody and they're telling me something that's going on with their SP or their money or maybe their job, sometimes they'll say something like, here we go again. Here's, another terrible week at work. Here's, having more terrible shifts. Here's to another argument with SP. Here we go again where SP's being hot and cold. Here we go again where I don't have any money. You know what that tells me? That tells me that you are subscribing to, that you are holding on to, and that you are clinging to your old story like grandma clings to her sweater. Why? Because if you were changing your actual dominant thoughts and assumptions about that topic, your first thought would not be, here we go again. Here it's happening again. Here's yet another time that I'm having this experience. Yeah, here we go. Let's start, the circus wheel, Ferris wheel, hamster wheel of delight of living in this shitty ass 3D reality. No, like, you literally wouldn't think that way to begin with. So, it is not unusual when I'm talking to somebody and they're having something that seems to be repetitive, that their attitude literally is, well, here I go again. Here we go again. Here's the same old story. Here's the same old thing. If your thoughts are like that, to where you're thinking like, here we go again, you know what? That just means that you're ruminating an old story, and it's time to do what? It's time to put that shit in the trash where it belongs. You remember this bitch? This is my owl trash can, and she's always hungry for the bullshit facts. And so if there is something in your 3D reality that does not work for you anymore, then why don't you go ahead and just decide as an opera power of your reality that you are going to no longer subscribe to it. You're no longer going to entertain it. It is not something that you are going to choose to keep in your focus. How do you do that, do you say? Well, use some tools like the handy dandy FU letter, period. You can write a FU letter to whatever is going on. If you don't recall, I can link my video here that is, command letters for your situation, because in that video, I talk about different ways to utilize the tool of the FU letter, the resistance letter that, keep in mind, you don't have to be super angry to use that. You can, if you're feeling anything other than neutral or happiness or something that you deem as positive, you can use the FU letter / resistance letter. You don't have to be furious. You don't have to be angry. You can be sad, anxious. You can just feel nervous. Maybe you're feeling a little despair or sadness, or, you're missing somebody and you're having some overwhelming emotion. Use the tool of the FU letter and then follow it up with the command letter. If it's somebody that you're wanting to do something, or if it's some concept that you're wanting it to be different. Having said that, a lot of what goes on in our 3D reality is literally based on what's up here. Affirming is one thing, and that repetition of thought does help you to change your dominant thought and then therefore assumption about a topic, a person, a situation. But there's also a large part of manifesting that has to do with the mental diet that you're keeping. And mental diet is the inner conversations, the thought, the chatter that's going through your mind, the thoughts that you think about things when they cross your mind. And a lot of times they're not necessarily very good. And I do notice a correlation in between those who have the here we go again attitude and those that don't. And one of the big things that is different between those two sets of people literally is the type of thoughts that they entertain, the conversations that they're having about the topics. If you find that you're a person who loves to complain and you're spending all your available free time bitching, complaining, whining, sniveling about your 3D reality to anyone and everyone who will listen to you, you're probably someone who's going to be in the here we go again camp. Because you've got plenty of people to be like, here we go again. Here we go again. SP doing XYZ again. SP got 50 hoes again. My bank account has 0 again. My job is being ridiculous again. Because you're complaining about it. And when we complain about things, even though we've naturally learned to do that, the fact of the matter is that it's just reaffirming that we don't have what we want, or it's reaffirming the negative circumstances, or it's reaffirming the old story because you're talking about it. You're getting, actively involved in the storytelling of it. And now you have someone else in your 3D reality who's going to do what? Probably ask you about it, pest you about it. And then you're going to be asking me, but hey, Flossie, how do I get this person to leave me alone? How about you just don't tell them in the first place, yo? How about you affirm things like people don't talk to me about anything I don't want to talk about. Everyone leaves me alone. Or as I say, everyone leaves me the fuck alone. But at any rate, you need to change some of the inner conversations and outer conversations that you're having about whatever it is in your 3D reality. If you are complaining, say I'm always a happy, positive person. I always only have positive things to say. Why? Because we actually get something psychologically from complaining. We get to feel, for the amount of time that we're complaining, we might feel like we're in this role of superiority because we're getting to complain about something and we're getting all the attention. It also might be that we're getting validation and reassurance and we want to have that. But, do you want to soothe your ego about being right and for a moment feel superior or get validation and reassurance from everybody? Or do you actually want to get your manifestation? And I'm not saying that you have to choose feeling good between getting your manifestation. What I'm saying is they go about feeling better differently than complaining to everybody so that you're just reaffirming the old story. We think a lot of different things and we think things without even realizing it, which is why in the manifestation community, we talk to you about trying to, really learn how to pay attention to what you're thinking, because thoughts will go on in there and they'll jumble around in there and you might have no idea that there's actually anything going on in there, but there actually is. And it could be a bunch of chatter. It's just stuff that you're not really paying attention to. So you're really not even aware of it. And I've literally had clients tell me, I never have any negative thoughts. And I'm like, really? Then why don't you have your manifestations by now? And so I told them, let's do an experiment. Because I'm scientific and I love scientific things. I said, how about anytime you start to feel negative or you start to feel anything other than neutral or positive, you quickly put your attention on what's going on in your head. And when I talked to that person again, you know what they said? They said, I didn't realize how negative I thought. And literally my whole day is sitting there thinking negative thoughts, because every time they started to feel an emotion that was not neutral or not positive to them, they would quickly put their attention on their thoughts. And guess what? They were thinking negative thoughts all day long. They were just so used to thinking negative thoughts that it just literally slipped under the radar and they were completely unaware that they were even doing so. So I challenge you guys, especially those of you who are like, my mental diet is perfect, because you can watch a video on that. A lot of times people's mental diets aren't. My mental diet isn't always perfect. I'm literally a coach. I'm about to enter my sixth year of coaching for Sammy Ingram, of being a manifestation coach. And yet I don't always have a crystal clear, perfect mental diet. I have thought negative thoughts. I have spiraled. There are times I've been triggered. There's times I've reacted to the triggers. And I wouldn't say that was years ago that those things have happened. Why? Because I'm here having a human experience. And there are times that I might react as a person. There's even sometimes I've even been like, oh shit, I got to remember that I manifest. And it's not because I'm an idiot, and it's not because, manifesting is not ingrained in my lifestyle. It's just sometimes when the 3D is 3D, sometimes you are getting caught up in the 3D and you have a momentary lapse of that you're powerful because you get sucked into what's happening in the 3D. And that even happens to me. So I know it happens to you because it happens to many people. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody or worse than anybody. I'm just saying that I've been coaching for years. I understand the law of assumption. And even though I practice it and I manifest like a badass boss ass manifestation bitch, it still happens to me too. So if you notice that you're feeling any kind of way, quickly shift your attention to your thoughts. What are you thinking? Is it something negative? Is it something that doesn't work for you? Start to recognize if there is a pattern with the different types of thoughts that you're having. Are they boiling down to the same theme? I mean, if you're thinking that it's boiling down to that I don't feel like I can manifest, maybe you need to affirm for your manifestation abilities. Maybe you need to gain more confidence as a manifester and keep track of what you're manifesting. Is it boiling down to not feeling safe and secure? Safe and secure about what? Maybe you need to have an affirmation around that. Is it boiling down to that you're just really angry about the old story? Well, if that's the case, then you need to work on that. Use the tools of the FU letter and command letter to put that story finally to bed in the trash where it belongs. Because the FU letter and command letter, and of course you can always do a love letter in lieu of a command letter if you wish. I can link the video for that here. But they're not one and dones. There are things that can help you get rid of the old story. There are things that can help you to put excess emotion in the trash, but also the command letter and love letter can help put you back in your power and help put you back into having the mindset that you literally have what you want. And so they're useful tools. But having said all that, and I'm trying not to be too long-winded or make too long of a video, at the end of the day, our thoughts, our dominant thought on a topic is what we end up experiencing. It's what our 3D reality conforms to. And if you continually have, negative thinking around something that you want something else with, like around your manifestation, and you're just thinking negative, or, just looking at it as like things are never going to change. Here we go again. Well, guess what? That's what's going to be mirrored back to you, reflected back to you. So you really need to change that mindset. So whenever your mind wants to be like, here we go again, I'd be like, nope, not here we go again, because this type of stuff never happens to me in my 3D reality. If you're going to acknowledge, the old story, which some people do, like if you and SP have a breakup and you've been broken up for a while and you're not revising it and you want to acknowledge that you had a bump in the road or a rough patch, you can go ahead and do so. Or if you want to acknowledge that there was a time in your life where maybe you didn't have some money, or you had, some rough, some not good times financially, or, your job wasn't always going perfectly, you can acknowledge that things happened to you, but put it in the past. So if you start thinking about SP and the old story and you want to have that here we go again attitude that's rude, stick it in the garbage can and be like, oh, SP and I had a rough patch. That was a long time ago. She used to be a jerk, but, they're everything I've ever wanted now. Like our relationship's stronger than ever. If it's about money and you're wanting to jump on that boat, then you can get yourself off of it before it leaves literally the dock or the pier and be like, there was a time that, I didn't have a ton of money, but that's been so long ago. I don't even know why I think about that because I'm literally rich as fuck now. Or, if it's your job and a coworker's being a problem, then you gotta, just get off of that bull before it starts to buck, because you don't want to be tossed and turned around everywhere. You just want to be like, oh, I get along with all my coworkers. I haven't had any issues with anybody at work forever. I don't even know why I would think about that. Like that was so long ago. It's ridiculous. Maybe you need to check out my thinking as if video where I explain how to think as if you have what you want, because thinking as if you have what you want is going to help you to get what you want faster. I just had a VIP group today, and someone said that when they were manifesting their specific person and they really were getting what they wanted, they literally rejected and ignored the 3D. They literally did the very definition of affirming and persisting. They absolutely did not assign any meanings that didn't work for them. They didn't care what they saw or what they thought they heard. They literally stayed laser focused and they kept persisting. And that's what the definition of persistence is. Persisting is choosing to have a clean mental diet and choosing to think thoughts in line with your manifestation, choosing to assign meanings that work for you despite what you think you see or hear. And I could probably link a video on that here, up in this corner. But, at the end of the day, your 3D reality is going to be comprised of your dominant thoughts of what you think and what you choose to assume about whatever the topic or person or whatever is. And when you want to stay in the ship of the here we go again attitude, like here we go again, it's happening again, here's the old story, here it's repeating itself, guess what? That's what is going to be your experience. So it's a lot easier and you're going to manifest a lot quicker if you just get off that boat and just don't even subscribe to the here we go again. Even though it feels a certain way at the time, even though you might feel like you get validation or reassurance, even though you might feel like you're being right and your ego is getting stroked because you're like, yeah, here we go again, I'm always right, and this person always does this, or this always happens to me. No, get off of that boat, because you will enjoy your money, your SP, your amazing job, your flourishing career, you having tons of business, much more than what you ever get from acting like here we go again. So stick that in the trash. The only time I want to hear about here we go again attitude is if it's in your favor, because you're like, yeah, here we go again, I'm winning at the casino again, or here we go again, I'm winning the lottery again, or here we go again, SP is once again, showing me everything I've ever wanted to see, and he or she is taking me on all these romantic dates. Here we go again. Make that attitude useful for you, as in here we go again, I'm getting more of my manifestations, not here we go again, I'm dealing with the old story. So if you want to be here we go again, you can, as long as you literally flip that attitude to I'm getting what I want. Here I go again, proving to myself I'm a master manifesting. Here I go again, just like literally GYS and getting my shit in, because the 3D don't be 3D'ing for me. No, hardcore facts. So you got a choice, people. You got a choice. And I'd say choose wisely. So drop any comments, questions, or concerns below, because I love to check them out. And as usual, I will talk to you later. Bye.